Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Sunday, March 5, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Maryland vs Penn State. The Nittany Lions have won 4 of their last 5 games. They have played well offensively at home, scoring more than 77 points per game while making 49% of their shots. They've taken advantage of their opportunities at the charity stripe, making over 74% of their free throws at home. They do a good job finding the open man and they're aggressive on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring chances. They also do a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Terrapins a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Terrapins usually play well defensively, but they struggled in recent games, giving up 70 or more points in 2 of their last 3 road games, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Nittany Lions in this game. The Terrapins have won 4 of their last 6 games, but they've lost 3 of their last 4 road games. They have struggled offensively on the road, scoring less than 68 points per game. They've also struggled at the free throw line, making less than 70% of their shots on the road. Their rebounding wasn't very good in their last 3 games, and they're careless with the ball on the road, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Nittany Lions. The Nittany Lions have played well defensively at home, giving up 67 points per game, so expect them to keep Maryland's offense in check. Go with Penn State to cover the spread. Our team pick is Penn State Nittany Lions -2 points. I think the under will hit in this game. Maryland keyed in on stopping Pickett when they faced Penn State last month, and it worked. Pickett finished well below his season averages that game with just 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. If Maryland can come close to replicating that, they'll take away a lot of scoring opportunities for Penn State in this game. Ultimately, Pickett has enough weapons around him for the Nittany Lions to win this game, but Maryland has an over-under split this season of 11/18 in favor of the under. Playing at the nation's 60th slowest adjusted tempo according to KenPom, the Terrapins know how to take opponents out of rhythm. I just don't think Maryland's offense has enough firepower on the road to cover in this game or reach the over. Give me the under 135 points. Houston vs Memphis. During Houston's earlier 8-point win over Memphis, the difference was at the foul line. Houston shot 23 for 26, .885, while Memphis was 12 for 19, .632. That made up for Houston's poor 3-point shooting, 3 for 17, .176, while Memphis was 6 for 15, .400. Memphis is 1-3-1 against the spread in its last 5 home games. Houston is 2-3 ATS in its last 5 road games. In the first game against Memphis, Houston was a 14.5-point favorite while winning by 8 points. One big difference is that Memphis will have Davis back. The Tigers were competitive without him, they have the ability to win at home with him. Take Memphis +5 points. The over is 7-3 in Houston's last 10 games. The over is 5-5 in Memphis's last 10 games. In the first game between the two, the over-under was 141, while the teams combined to score 136 points. Both teams have the ability to score easy points. Memphis averages 15.53 fast break points, which entering Saturday was 7th nationally. Houston averages 11.60 points, which was 74th. Memphis also averages 72 possessions per 40 minutes, according to KenPom.com, which was 16th entering the weekend. Houston is more deliberate at 63.4, which was 344th. Still, the Cougars can play a fast-paced game, and Memphis at home will try to make this into a track meet, all suggesting a higher scoring game. Take over 146 points. William and Mary vs Hofstra. Not only did Hofstra win their final 11 games, but they also beat the spread in 10 of those contests. 8 of the wins in the streak came by at least 14 points. They may start a little rusty, especially against a team that just had to fight for their life 24 hours earlier, but when they find their footing, only a few CAA teams can challenge them. I don't see William and Mary as one of those teams. The Pride are better on both ends of the floor and aren't facing the Tribe on the road this time. Take Hofstra to cover. As I mentioned, Hofstra's defense has been very impressive this season. To put it into context, only 30 teams in the country held opponents under a 41.0% field goal percentage. Hofstra was 23rd overall at 40.7%. They also held the Tribe to a 33.8% field goal percentage in the regular season matchup, but William and Mary hit 40.7% of their three-point attempts. The three-point shot was instrumental in their win over the Phoenix on Saturday, as they cashed 14 triples at a 43.8% clip. Considering the Pride is fresh and well rested, they'll be able to key in on William and Mary's strength and keep them to a low score. Finally, it's worth mentioning that neither program plays particularly quickly on the offensive end. William and Mary is ranked 288th in tempo, 65.6 possessions per 40 minutes, while Hofstra is 181st, 67.5. All things considered, I think the under is the smart play on Sunday. Our total pick is under 141.5 points. Illinois vs Purdue. It's the lone meeting between these teams this season, unique for the finale and for a game of this magnitude in the conference. Both schools did play against Ohio State within the last 2 weeks, Purdue winning big at home, 82-55, while Illinois fell to the Buckeyes on the road, 72-60. The Boilermakers have been given some big points at home lately, and they've handled it well, going 4 ATS in their last 5 at home, including hits as -12.5 and -10 favorites. The Illini could also be without their starting point guard Epps, who was concussed and missed his last game after taking an elbow off his chin in practice. That will hamper Illinois' offensive push and put Purdue in control of the tempo. And on the defensive end, Coleman Hawkins will likely be the lucky Illini to draw Edey as an assignment, and the 6'10" forward cannot match up with the 7'4" Boilermakers center. But not many can be clear. Purdue's scoring may be down from their season average, but they are comfortable in low-scoring games, and they are 2-0-1 at TS in the last 3 games between these schools. Our team pick is Purdue -7.5 points. His could be a classic Big Ten knock 'em down, drag 'em out showdown, with 2 of the better defenses in the country going at it. KenPom's adjusted defense ratings have Purdue ranked 20th and Illinois ranked 27th. On top of that, Purdue is ranked 321st in KenPom's tempo ratings, so they will be looking to slow things down while they try to facilitate Edey down low. The Boilermakers held their last 5 opponents to an average of 65.4 points per game and scored just over it, with 65.6 points of offense per game. The Fighting Illini did put up 91 in their last game, but that was a double overtime battle, so we tossed that aside for a second. In the 4 games prior to that, Illinois allowed an average of 68.5 points per game, while averaging 68 points of offense. It's a big game, so tensions will be high, and these teams have yet to face off, so there will be a feeling out process in the beginning. Combined, these teams have seen 33 of their games go under this season. Take the under 139.5 points. South Florida vs Wichita State. Wichita State pulled off a 70-66 victory when these two sides met in Tampa back on January 8. While it was a tight game, the Shockers relied on their defense to get it done that night. They held the Bulls to a 37.3% field goal percentage and limited them to just 4-23, 17.4% from three-point range. Now, you could say, well, if they would have made 2 more threes, the Bulls would have won. Maybe. But rarely do we see teams improve their shooting when they leave their home gym. If the Shockers were able to hold the Bulls to a sub-40.0% field goal percentage in Tampa, they will surely do so again at home on Sunday. Their defense has been the key to their success this season, limiting opponents to just a 40.7% field goal percentage, 22nd. Look for the Bulls to struggle on the road against a tough defense, while Wichita State does enough to stretch out the lead and cover the spread. Our team pick is Wichita State Shockers -6 points. I'll continue to give praise to the Shockers defense to start this section, as I'll be playing the under as well. They're 92nd in the country in defensive efficiency, limiting opponents to just 101.6 points per 100 possessions. On the flip side, South Florida has a respectable defense, holding the opposition to a 42.8% field goal rate, 100. Furthermore, neither of these clubs pushes the pace too quickly when they have the ball. The Bulls are 115th in tempo, 69.0 possessions per 40 minutes, while the Shockers are 224th, 66.7. If Wichita State can establish itself on its home court and play a slower-paced game, this one should come in well under the total. Let's root for defense here, give me the under 143 points. Temple vs Tulane. The Green Wave will win and cover in its regular season finale versus an Owls squad that's just too inconsistent to bet on in this game. Tulane is one of the top free throw shooting teams in the nation, is 18th in scoring and 24th in assist per turnover ratio. It will exhibit dominance over a Temple team that is coming off a lackluster offensive showing in its previous game and is just 256th in tempo. Keeping pace with the Green Wave, third highest tempo, will be a challenge and will play into Tulane's hands. Our team pick is Tulane covers. Sophomore guard Jalen Cook leads Tulane in scoring. The Walker Law native contributes 20.3 points, 45.1 FG%, and 4.9 assists per contest. Other players to watch are junior forward Kevin Cross, 14.5 PPG, 6.3 RPG, and 4.2 APG, sophomore guard Sean James, 10.0 PPG and 4.9 RPG, and junior forward Colin Holloway, 6.9 PPG. The Green Wave score 80.7 points per game, 18th, and shoot 46.6% from the floor, 67th, including 33.7% from three-point range, 214th. It converts 78.4% of its free throw attempts, 8, and averages 29.5 rebounds, 298, with a -7.5 rebounding margin. Tulane is 82nd in schedule-adjusted offensive efficiency and 69th in effective field goal percentage, 52.9%. Our total pick is under the total. East Carolina vs UCF. It's backing UCF, it has my money though, as the 55 points they scored last time out was more of an anomaly than anything for the Knights, and their offense that's 101st ranked in AJO. UCF had only been held below 60 points two other times this season, and following those efforts, UCF owns a 1-1 Sioux and 2-0 ATS record, with the Sioux loss coming in a 6-point defeat at number 1 Houston. Bouncing back is what this UCF team does after an offensive performance that was so poor, and with no concerns about this defense being able to contain a bad shooting road team like East Carolina. I'll grab a glass of water and eat all that chalk. Our team pick is Central Florida -11.5 points. Those two games UCF has played after failing to score 60+ points also went 2-0 to the over, and they did so by an average of 12 points per game. The Knights are also on a 7-0 run to the over in home games, in part because of those leaky defensive numbers, so it does appear that the over would be the play here. How much work ECU puts in to help cash that ticket is a big question mark, though that has me hesitant on ultra confident in this election. Neither side shot better than 43% from the floor in that first meeting, and there were 12 missed free throws combined. With all of that, the first game stayed under the 129 total by just 4 points, which suggests to me that we only really need average play from both sides in this meeting to seriously threaten this total at a bare minimum. Our total pick is over 136 points.